families struggling with addiction are going through. I know it because I've lived it in my own life. Some of you may have heard me talk about my dad, who was a sports reporter and then a journalist and then a longtime columnist for the Star Tribune. He's 91 right now, he was an avid adventurer and climbed mountains all over the world. But for decades, he battled with alcoholism. I literally saw my dad climb the highest peaks, but sink to the lowest valleys because of alcoholism. After his third DWI, when things were different, first ones, not a lot of consequences, but by the time it was the early 90s, we were about to get married, my husband and I, he got the third one. That's when he was given a choice, jail or treatment. And he chose treatment. And in his words, thanks to his family and his faith and that treatment, he was pursued by grace. It made all the difference. Today, he's 91 years old, he's not drinking, and he says it's hard to get alcohol in the assisted living center anyway. He still has his friends from AA visit. That's what motivated me to make sure everyone has that opportunity to be pursued by grace. It's why I worked on the Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act, one of 4 senators that got that going because of the opioid epidemic, with everything from increasing the availability of naloxone to saving lives to making sure that we make treatment more available. We're now building on that with CARA 2.0 to make sure that the states receive certain federal funding and that strong prescription monitoring programs are in place. But that's just the beginning. Drug courts, so important. I have worked so hard to get the federal drug courts going and to help the state with funding. As a former prosecutor, I always figured our job was to, yes, convict the guilty, but protect the innocent. And addiction treatment helps people so you don't have them back and cycling into and out of the criminal justice system. That's important, as well as working toward these lawsuits that we're seeing with the opioid manufacturer, making sure that money just doesn't sit around, that it's going to go to treatment, not just for opioids, but for alcoholism, for crack, and for meth, and cocaine, for all kinds of drugs. We can do this. I have seen the success in my life, and you have seen it in the lives of your friends, family members, and of course, those that you serve. Faith can make a big difference in getting people off drugs. It gives them a grounding, it gives them a purpose. So I just want to thank you for this conference, what you're doing, and just offer my support in any way. Last year, after your inaugural conference, Reverend Dr. Sue Allers-Hatley sent Pastor Ed a note. It said, "This conference was life-changing for many of my students. One pastor started going to Al-Anon and feels new healing with his father. Another pastor started going to AA, and a young seminarian said he finally felt acceptance in his recovery." You all understand that there are no lost causes. No one is far gone so that they can't change. But we have a lot of work to do to make sure people have a second chance. And, as my dad said, be pursued by grace. Keep up the good work. Thank you for making such a difference.